is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
12:36 a.m. Monday morning.
Stressed out, you guys. It's 12:30. I'm pumping every 4 to 6 hours, about 4 to 6 ounces on average. And I've been doing this since February 23rd is the first day I started.
Nobody cares.
I plan to breastfeed for the first year of Weston's life. So I have to keep pumping to keep my supply up, because if you don't keep your supply up, then it dries up. So if you try to go like more than 12 hours without pumping, the next time you pump, you'll get a decent amount, but then like 2 or 4 hours later, you might be lucky to get a few ounces. So it's just something that I have to keep up with all throughout the night, and I have since he was born.
These Zomi bags provide all the storage instructions for keeping milk safest and frozen. Breast milk lasts in the freezer for up to 6 months. So there she goes. She wants a pack of 100 for $20, y'all. Happy 5 weeks. Oh my goodness, what is this? Daily vitamin for pregnancy and nursing. 9:26 a.m. 5 weeks postpartum today. 3:25:24. I'm stressed out today, you guys, but hopefully after breakfast and a workout, I will feel better. Jesus said, repent, not repeat.
I just had a really great prayer. I pray every day. The situation with my children and
Do you actually pray? Like, do you pray or do you make a wish?
lots of issues with being thrown out of my own apartment, and all of the struggle I've gone through post-COVID, looking for resolution, specifically, with my children and being a mother. And I read this, God's covenant with creation, Genesis, chapter 8, verse 20. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Then the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake. And this is really like that Jesus said, repent, not repeat.
You need to finish reading that. That's not where it goes. That's not where it ends. I mean, obviously that's not where the Bible ends, but that's not... You got to finish that story, Heather.
That's the message. And there are so many messages in the Bible that go along with what is supposed to be happening. So we're praying. Everyone have a great day.
You better hurry up and read up.
We're praying. Everyone have a great day.
10:27 a.m. Thank you so much to my mom and to my sponsors for sending me the emergency cash to purchase these items when my regular funding was unexpectedly taken. Very grateful. Wow. Storage bags for milks and pads. 2:18 p.m. That's so crazy. Also, why did Abram have to present his wife as his sister? Google says because his wife and half-sister Sarai, later called Sarah, is very beautiful. Abram asked her to say that she is only his sister, lest the Egyptians kill him. Motivated by fear, Abram asked her to say that she was his sister rather than his wife. So what happened when they arrived in Egypt? She says, maybe I'll start a new series called Pumping and Pondering at 2 a.m. Wow. Let's do it.
I heard somewhere that when you sleep with the TV on or background noise, it's a trauma response. But I don't think it is, because I've been doing that since I was a little girl.
Oh, that's so sad. Maybe you had trauma as a little girl. That's probably why you got so crazy. I had to do that too. And mine, I don't know if mine was from trauma or not, because I had some fucked up shit trauma happen as a kid. But I always needed my TV on. got to the point where I would get in trouble if we woke up and my TV was still on. And back in the day, like, I was able to find the sleep timer on my TV. So I would turn the timer on as long, it would be like 120 minutes. And then if I'm about, like, I felt like I would fall asleep and there was only like 30 minutes left, I would make it go longer because I did not want to fall asleep and the TV be off. Like, I need a little tiny bit of noise or light because my anxiety will freak out.
I heard somewhere that when you sleep with the TV on or background noise, it's a trauma response. But I don't think it is because I've been doing that since I was a little girl. Unless I was already traumatized when I was a little girl. Also, Xavier and I have been doing like a Bible study. We started at the beginning of the Bible, and I'm reading like a half a page or a page every day. And so there are so many questions. He has
Do it on here, Heather.
like a little bit of a better understanding, but so many questions. Did you guys see that question about Abram and Sarai? They later changed him to Abraham and his wife to Sarah.
Good job, Heather. Good job. I'm so proud of you. When did you find that out on the Bible app? Like, I wonder where how did she just not hear that story? I wonder. Which is nice. Even if she was doing this for like court, maybe she'll fall in love with it and actually find that relationship with God and then actually genuinely change. But like I said, after that video of her really honestly sounding like she was doing Dexter, I'm not going to say I don't have hope for her, but I guess now I understand more of why people, they just cannot help her.
And my lip is...
Stop doing your lip. See, this is what pisses, this is the thing. What I was trying not to, it's like you want to point out your lip because everyone sees your lip and everyone knows what it's it from, and you're acting dumb like, oh, last time it was because you were in a tent and it was so cold and your lips were chapped and you used chipstick and nothing worked. Well, what's your excuse now, homegirl? It ain't cold, it ain't freezing, you in a hotel room pretty much. I'm like, I can't even really call that bitch a shelter. Like, you're in a hotel room.
Split open right down the middle.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen, like, but with a punch. Like, someone needs to...
Every time I smile or make any expression, it starts bleeding again a little bit. And I have no idea how it even... I went to sleep one night and it was fine. And I woke up.
Heather, I've never known anyone to do these Dexter can things, okay? I knew it was a problem back in my day, or I knew people did it back in my day, like whenever I was younger, just because it was not sold out, and I thought that was really weird. So I don't know the sound of it. The only person I ever knew who would do something like that is I stumbled upon a video of my uncle and his friend doing the Whip It can. And I was so confused because I saw it earlier and it's like, I didn't know what it was. And I was like, okay, I think this is like a baking tool, like you put frosting or something. I don't remember. And then I saw the video and y'all, my soul left my body. I saw my uncle do that. Now, let's see. This is my uncle who was... He's the only boy, and he is the baby. And his mom passed away, like, which is my mama, and he was very close to her. And he was like a 70s baby. He did those drugs. Back in those days, he did everything, you know? So, unfortunately, he's still a cool, rad fucking dude, okay? He's just a surfer. He's cool, you know? He's cool. He stopped. But whenever I saw that video of him doing that fucking Whip It thing, and it's like he left for a minute, and I never understood. That freaked me out. I never understood why people like that. And I guess Dylan's the same way, but I think his is more of like a like where you almost pass out. Some that's scary to me. Whenever someone likes the feeling that they're about to pass out, that's not good. That's like whenever someone tells you, I know this is going to kill me. I know what I'm doing to myself is going to kill me. And then 2 weeks later, they're gone because of that.
Is split open right down the middle. Every time I smile or make any expression, it starts bleeding again a little bit. And I have no idea how it even... I went to sleep one night and it was fine. And I woke up and that's how it was.
That's not, Heather... I really don't like saying this out loud because I feel like I don't like, but I am so scared one day she is going to be found. Like, whenever she was on the streets, I was so mad, and I was like, what are they going to do? They're going to find her on the street. Like, gone. And then I'm like, okay, well, she could get through winter. She's good. And then the other day, whenever she hit the duster, do you not understand what that does to you, Heather? Not only what it does to you permanently, to your brain cells, it will kill you at any moment, at any given time. And I hate it because I always think about Aaron Carter, because I used to cover Aaron Carter a little bit, and he was okay, but I didn't like it whenever he started doing drugs. And of course, oh my gosh, that story is so sad, and I hate it because I don't even know how I was back in the day whenever I even covered him. But I really hope I gave him grace, because I don't know if I knew back then how bad the situation was with Hollyweird and how many plants there are and how they really set people up. And I really think he was going through some things and nobody was really listening to him. I'm just really curious if Heather understands there's a possibility that whenever she hits this can, she will collapse and die. She will not wake up. She will have no lungs and she cannot breathe. And she keeps on doing it. But you love your kids, right?
Split open right down the middle. Every time I smile or make any expression, it starts bleeding again a little bit. And I have no idea how it even... I went to sleep one night and it was fine. And I woke up and that's how it was.
Isn't it crazy because you just did Duster? Up for my midnight pump, feeling anxious and stressed out. This page is replacing the page above. I did daily FTR updates documenting the situation and every action I took at correcting it, and the page was deleted. There was video and testimony with recorded phone calls and organized copies of emails, call logs, etc. to show how long we waited for housing and the trials and tribulations we encountered along the way. It was mostly just for me and for reference when going back to write the next section of my novel. Makes you think, who benefits from destroying all of that? 9:30 a.m. Tuesday. Good morning. Have a nice day. Heather Gillespie, one Heather G.
And here is my resume. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But I'm going to post my resume on the next post. I have a tremendous reputation in the healthcare community.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone I've ever worked with has been, very happy with my work
Then why don't they want you back, girl? What's your leave? Look at that.
ethic. And I picked up a lot of other skills. I have a lot of college, and I'm just exposing my evolution as a professional so that I can attract like-minded individuals who have common, goals, common values, common ethics, and want to take their business or creative endeavor in the same direction of where I'm going. So here's my resume on the next post. So in
My most proudest accomplishment, without a doubt. 9:34 a.m.
So in addition to all of that I've just posted about, I also have a ton of other experience with regards to parenting. I've been a parent for 17 years. 14 of those years, all 3 of my children lived with me as a single mother. And I was effectively able to manage a career, earn income, be a good mother to 3 children, buy groceries, clean our house. And I'm coming from a place of complete poverty. So this is unique for a lot of people. Anyone with money can hire someone to juggle those, things without having a good amount of money. You have to be very creative. So I was able to do so in a very successful way that I'm very proud of. I have 3 beautiful children, and I cannot.
You have 3 beautiful children. I think you meant 4.
Wait to see, what they have in store for life.
What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? I thought I was waiting for it, and you really did forget them?
And what life has in store for them. I have 3 beautiful children, and I cannot wait to see, what they have in store for life, and what life has in store for them.
Maybe you would consider my 16 and 17-year-old to be young adults who don't need their mother, which I strongly disagree with, but a 10-year-old and a newborn most certainly would still require a tremendous amount of supervision and parenting at this point in their lives. And you totally forgot them in the last live, asshole.
The areas that I'm looking for employment in are definitely first and foremost remote medical billing and coding, any sort of remote customer service. I want to be home with my newborn baby. He's 5 weeks old only, so I want to be home with him. And I have a 10-year-old little girl. I really don't know what the games are behind all of the events that have gone on for the last 4 years since 2020. But I do believe in God, and I do believe that God is going to come through and, shine light on the truth. In the words of Kevin Gates, I am who I am, and who I'm not, I'll never be. Regarding any of my belief systems, I like to put it out there, and put it in my bio so that no one can attack me. There has been a lot of really nefarious crap going on in the world of social media influencers and celebrity, if you take it a step above that. And it's really nefarious and nasty, and I'm really glad that you guys have stuck around to hear what I'm talking about and to raise awareness for this. But they basically find a way that you differ in opinion from someone else and make it their job to attack you over it. And it can be an online attack, it can be an in-person attack, it can be a verbal attack, it can be a physical assault. It is truly disgusting, and that's what encouraged me to build the What is Your Impact campaign, which is a campaign that's built around compassion and integrity.
Good morning. One Heather G. Heather Gillespie.
So if we're asking about the basic functions of life, of political life,
Stop throwing shit.
of daily life, and of morals, values, and ethics, I think of sexuality, racism, humanity, and socioeconomic justice.
I lost track.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you my opinions on all 4
Oh,
of them,
no,
whether
don't.
you want them or not.
I know I really don't want them. I know. She knows we don't care about it.
Don't want them, just stop scrolling, stop clicking, stop watching.
Good morning, hair, because why not? On relationships. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Heather, we don't need no advice on relationships from you.
So, first and foremost, I value traditional gender roles for me and my life. What does that mean? It means I want to be with a man, and I want him to allow me to be a woman. I want to look to him when I feel scared. I want to feel comforted by him. I want him to be the,
I feel like this, I'm getting really uncomfortable. Like, this makes me uncomfortable. This isn't none of my business. Why? This isn't, I'm not a relationship guide here.
top of our family.
What?
And me to be right next to him. and for us to assume traditional gender roles. Now, obviously, this is not 1920, where women cannot vote, and I'm not even addressing that because it's not the world we live in. I'm not a hardcore feminist, but I do believe that traditionally, women are different than men biologically, intellectually. We have the similar capacities, but we're made differently. Men traditionally have muscles that are larger than women for a reason. So
I believe in respect, not delusion. Regarding the whole pronoun topic.
On the next subject, I don't believe in trans as being another gender.
Well, you might want to reconsider the church you keep going to.
I just don't believe in it. I believe in respecting their wishes if they want to be called another gender. But at the end of the day, you don't have a uterus and you're not a woman. You don't have a penis and you're not a man. So if you ask me nicely to refer to you as whatever you want to be referred to, I will. Because why wouldn't I be respectful of another human being? But I'm not delusional, and I understand that what makes a man and a woman, a male and a female are reproductive sex organs. So I'm fully aware of that, and I won't pretend like I'm not. But I will be respectful of whatever, your wishes are, as I'd like you to call me a woman because I'm a woman and a mom,
I wouldn't say you're a mom. Oh, she tagged at Turning Point USA. And this applies to their points on fatherless households as well. She is so bored.
Okay, so take 3. Not because I did not eloquently state my point, but because they continue to freeze it. So I was discussing another point. This goes into my values of social justice and just issues that I don't think should be gaslit for our children and each other and the internet. And Turning Point USA, specifically, I think it was Charlie who made this point that the majority of murders are committed by Black people statistically. And someone said, well, that's because the majority of impoverished neighborhoods and areas are, Black people. And what I say is it's more than that. It's also not only are they poverty areas, but they're also areas that don't receive a police response. So when you have violent crimes that are happening, you have to protect yourself in some way, right? And then, yes, they are, the majority taking place in poverty-stricken areas, and that is because of slavery. Period.
What? That is because it's like, what? Oh, that took a turn. I guess I wasn't paying attention, but that didn't sound like it should have ended that way.
Yeah.
Oh, she's on a roll. Okay, so all of this is clearly outlined as being our constitutional right, meaning per the law, we have the right to be free of violent crimes, etc. Therefore, if the Bible says it, the Constitution says it. And our human and civil rights outline it. How can we deny its existence? 10:53 a.m.
And then you also have to ask yourself, if you were sexually assaulted or brutally attacked and you called law enforcement to come help you and they didn't show up, or they showed up several hours later, and we're not saying law enforcement is the devil. No, we're not saying that at all. What we're saying is, of God, we understand. Of God means of understanding.
What?
Of God means of knowing. If we are of God and we are claiming to be godly children, followers and believers of God, we have to also, put that into action. And in doing so, you have to be able to look through the perspective of other people, even if it's not your life. We don't all have to take on the form of others to be able to understand. It just takes a tiny bit of effort. If you're in a neighborhood and you get raped and you call the police and they don't show up and you have a gun, are you shooting? Religion.
Who would you be shooting? The one who raped you? Hell yeah, I'll be down for that.
Religiously, I don't really have...
She's like, I'm so bored. Okay, sleepover time. Let me roll around in my bed. So anyways, realistically, I don't really have a one-size-fits-all answer for that. I go to different churches. I was baptized and raised Lutheran.
I don't like the lighting over there. I look so red. I was baptized and raised Lutheran. I go to St. James Church,
When did the Catholic come in then? Because you said you was Catholic too.
which is, I believe, Episcopalian. I go to Fourth Presbyterian sometimes.
Which you don't believe in some of the stuff that they are doing, so you should probably move churches.
I go to Catholic church sometimes, and I also believe in a lot of the teachings in the Quran. So
I was about to say I'm so scared, but I'm so ignorant to Quran, so I have no idea what that means, but I have a feeling it's totally opposite of what I believe in. So if anyone knows about Quran, I probably won't be able to Google it, but now I'm so curious. What in the world is she talking about? Is she serious? Like, if this is a totally opposite religion, like if it's crazy, outlandish, like...
I don't have one, religious answer or viewpoint for you. I believe in God. And I believe in reeling in the behaviors of ourselves and society to what they were originally intended when the Bible was written, and sticking as close to that as far as values, morals, and ethics go as we can.
Okay, and I can agree with that, honestly, because it gets to the point where it's like religion, religious, all this. But it's almost to the point where it's like, okay, if you believe in the main things, like Jesus, God had brought Jesus for us, Mary carried Jesus for us, and Jesus died on the cross for our sins, was resurrected, went to heaven, then yes, okay, we're good. But it gets tricky whenever you are hopping churches, and different churches believe in different things. And like she said, you need to go by the Bible. And that church, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but what they're doing is not going by the Bible. So she needs to be more aware, and that's making me pretty much confirm that she's not taking any of this seriously.
Regarding immigration and
Oh my gosh, why we gotta talk about everything? She wants to debate so bad. That would be kind of fun to debate, Heather.
immigration reform and refugees and federal funding for refugees. My only opinion is, if we can build a wall, why can't we add 3 other walls and a roof and offer housing at the border? Whatever political constituency and, paperwork needs to be done, why can't it be done while also, providing for some sort of safe space right there at the point of entry? People don't flee their country and sleep in terminals of airports because they feel safe and secure, right? So there's a huge crisis going on if there are people literally...
Dude, there's a huge crisis going on everywhere. There's a huge crisis going on right here where we are. Like, some people are just so blinded to it. Like, people just need to be ready.
Really living in those capacities that needs to be addressed. And that has nothing to do with what country of origin you or your family come from. Back to relationships, I value monogamy, and I would never be in a non-monogamous relationship, ever. Unless I didn't know that the person was not
What
being...
Unless I didn't know. That's called cheating, Heather.
Monogamous. And that's... back to relationships, I value monogamy, and I would never be in a non-monogamous relationship, ever. Unless I didn't know that the person was not being monogamous. And that's basically just because I don't like to play games with one person, let alone multiple. And there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. Every relationship is going to have drama and stress. And it's just a matter of, putting forth effort with the person who you partner with.
Who would you go to war with?
To work through those dramas and stressors. But I have 4 children who come with their own drama and stress, and I have drama and stress. So why would I want to say, oh yeah, I'll be in a relationship with 2 more people who have drama and stress, or 3 more people? Absolutely not. One person and their drama and stress is all I have room for.
You ain't gotta go. Why would you go through all of that just to say you don't want a third person in a relationship?
For
Parenting style, honest, but also sensitive and compassionate. 11:13 a.m.
For parenting style, I believe in being honest with my kids and delivering them truth that's catered to their age and level of understanding. And specifically what that means is I wouldn't tell my 10-year-old the exact same version that I would tell my 17-year-old or even my 16-year-old. And you know your children best. You know what they understand and what they don't understand. And that in itself makes all the difference in how you deliver information to them. And the effect on their happiness. And when I discuss happiness, I'm not talking about fun. I'm talking about overall, over a course of years, is the child happy? And when you think about how to deliver information to your child, you have to weigh in the effect that information will have on their overall happiness and ability to regulate. So, just play it by ear and you know your child best.
I'm proud to be partnering with my very good friend Lee Greenwood, who doesn't love his song, God Bless the USA, in connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible. This Bible is the King James Version and also includes
kindness, compassion, empathy, integrity, 3:26:24. Heather Gillespie, 1 Heather G.
My most important and undervalued value, I think, that's going on in America today is, and this is outlined in my What's Your Impact campaign, bullying and kindness. And this applies to all ages, from kindergarten toddlers all the way to adults. If we don't find a way to get adults on board with stopping in their tracks and asking themselves,
does she not have her ring on?
What is my impact if I engage in this behavior? What are the residual effects on the people around me? How can we expect their children to do so or their children's children to do so? Just not being a jerk. If you're watching TV, and this can apply to in-person social media or whatever. If you're watching TV and you're going through channels, you're not going to stop and watch something you don't like, right? So why would you stop on someone's social media and talk down to them or degrade them? That's terrible. Let's get...
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Next. 3:26:24. Heather Gillespie, 1 Heather G.
And families should always stay together. If you have someone who you're, dealing with, who you don't think is capable of being a parent, you should be using the money to rehabilitate that person and that family, not to pay a stranger in the foster care system to temporarily take care of the child. Rehabilitate families together.
Why don't y'all get y'all shit together in the first place, and this wouldn't even have been a problem.
Them together. It's not a matter of money, it's a matter of morality.
Exactly. You should have morally done what was right and loved and take care of that baby. 3:26:24. Opportunities to place for profit are essentially eliminated when rehabilitation resources or accents be flowing are offered at a familial level. There is very little difference monetarily between foster care placement payments and rehabilitative resources. Oh my gosh.
I really don't have anything to say about same-sex marriage. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think where we're at right now is where we should be.
What? No. You're wrong on all of that. It's wrong.
It is what it is. People love who they love, and that's it. However, there are a lot of subliminal issues that go along with same-sex marriages in the foster care system. And this is why I'm saying families need to stay together. There have been numerous very corrupt, coercive manipulations that have taken place that have literally stolen babies and children for the purpose of placing them for profit. Placing a child for profit is the most disgusting and destructive thing that someone could do.
And I believe in that. I know things like that. But I know that's not where he's at, so that makes me at ease. That's why I never wanted him in the state custody. I don't like CPS. Thank goodness I've never had to deal with them, but I don't. And you hear all these stories with the kids go missing. you do hear very good stories, and it's like, oh, all these families save these kids' lives, and it's like, it's a miracle, it's amazing. And then sadly, you hear there's stories where all these kids disappear, and there's human trafficking, and all of this, and things are being sold. It's disgusting. It's nasty. I agree with that part, but he's fine. He's not with any of those people. FTR, I could never have a child to give it away. You literally, that's such a lie. Okay, FTR, I could never have a child to give it away. I would sacrifice a limb for my child. I don't know how people just walk away from their kids. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Let me chop off a limb for you. No, she didn't.
If that were going to be the case of a same-sex couple raising a child, it should only be in a predetermined surrogacy. And that is, completely outside of the system. It's not systemic. It's not of the system. It's not criminally, monitored. It's not DCFS monitored. It has absolutely nothing to do with those agencies. And it would be like a formal contract with a lawyer. And sometimes the exchange of money, that would be the only, in my opinion, ethical way. Because the incentive that I personally have witnessed to cause damage to someone in an effort to have access to their child is very relevant to the subject matter as it's discussed. But at the end of the day, it's always been my opinion that the queer community is just like any one of the rest of us. There are successful people who are lesbians or who are gay. There are people who are kind, compassionate, caring, and abide by, laws, morals, and ethics of every sexual orientation. And that's really, I feel we've come so far from it that it's not even an issue. It's like interracial dating. Does anyone even care anymore? Like, is that still a thing? Like, is that something that people, I don't know, maybe I'm privileged to live in an environment where I have been around gay people and interracial couples and all these sorts of controversial things that they don't even seem controversial to me. The majority of my life, I've been around these sorts.
She really gives out mixed signals,
of things. So what rock is there? What little town is there that still doesn't accept those things? I really don't know, but
all right, let me be the one. It's not that we don't accept it. It's the whole, let's not go for the kids, keep it to yourself. There wasn't a problem back in the day whenever people were like, once people thought that, they were gay, okay, it is what it is. But it became a problem whenever it was just in everybody's faces. And then it went after the kids. That's a huge thing, Heather. I will be the one to say it. Like, it is what it is. It is a sin. But I know how to love people who sin without agreeing with it. I love myself, and I cuss up a storm, and I ridicule Heather sometimes.
I don't even think it's a thing anymore, is it? Now, another one that I recently...
Regarding homelessness and poverty, shelter, food, medical care, clothing, all basic human rights, that shouldn't even be a discussion anymore. Why are we talking? Was she on her Adderall today? Like, she was just like, blah, 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 blah.
Now, another one that I recently formed was with regards to homelessness and poverty. There should not be any of this, period. We are in 2024 in an evolved American society. There is no reason for this. I mean, we have so much space in this world that we've built, in this country that we've built, in this city of Chicago that we've built. To see even one person living outside other than because they choose to live outside is unacceptable, in my opinion. Every single person should have access to a living space, whether they can afford to pay for one or not. The same with food.
Do you not understand, though? Like, it all sounds so glorious, if we all have this. But then nobody would want to go to school. Nobody would want to hire their education. Nobody would want to further their degrees. Nobody would want to work and want to go to be doctors and all of this stuff. Nobody would want to dream and do anything because everyone would just be comfortable with everyone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would someone go and bust their ass doing hard fucking labor, like working on a farm versus somebody who just is going to sit on their couch all day. Why? That makes no sense at all. Why would someone get up and work their ass off whenever they could get the same amount of money just sitting on their ass?
And that doesn't have to come at the expense of middle income taxpayers' dollars. There is enough to go around. We live in a world of abundance,
No,
not
there's
in a world
not.
of lack. Abundance.
I got
I need
enough.
a tan. I really feel like that Muse filter is just giving glow. And my regular face is giving, let's
No.
go to Florida.
Oh, let's go to Florida. Come, let's go to Florida, girl. We got some of the best beaches.
Bahamas, LA,
No, Florida.
any warm weather climate for like a week or two. LA tan,
We're taking the
Palm
boat out
Beach tan.
tomorrow. Let's go. These are the analytics for GoPro Solo on Instagram. This is one of approximately 10 social media accounts I have worked with over the last several years. 5 out of 10 have grown into the thousands, and 3 out of 10 have grown into the 10,000 plus. The highest ever was approximately 50 to 60,000 followers, and the average is 15,000 followers. So far, rice checks and a protein, 2 puddings, and some corn chips for the breast milk menu of the day. Being in a homeless shelter and balancing healthy diet is more important than ever for Weston. I can't.
Look at this, you guys. So I guess people were complaining that there were migrants in the field houses at the Park District. So they're moving them to shelters. At least they're getting shelters.
Okay, more than
Spicy
shelter.
honey. It's Holy Week in Chicago and everywhere.
People just don't understand this. There isn't anything more important that you will have in your life than your kids, period.
Yeah, exactly, Heather. That's her face.